Let's be honest, the away game against Rayo Vallecano didn't promise anything good. The warning signs were everywhere. The pitch was in terrible condition, Hansi Flick was already frustrated with the team's early season performances. Fermín López's transfer saga dragged on, and then came Gavi's injury. The post-match atmosphere only added to the concerns, and it all felt familiar. Hansi Flick went through the same pattern in his second season at Bayern. The symptoms were identical, and that story did not end well. So, what did you think about the game? Joan García was the clear standout. 5 big saves gave Barcelona at least something to hold on to. But today the focus is different. What exactly is going wrong with his team? Hansi Flick's frustration was already visible in preseason. He did not look like the same coach from last year. He spoke unusually openly about players, and on the 15th of August came the first sign that something was not right. "I wasn't so happy with Fermín in preseason, but he's improved," said the head coach back then. And now let's see what Flick said after the match against Rayo about the entire team and the root of all current problems. By the way, CULES, do you want to dig deep into the root of any Barcelona problem yourself? Want to see in just 2 clicks what exactly went wrong in the Rayo match, from tactics to individual mistakes? Download Football Extra, analysis, stats, exclusive breakdowns, all right on your phone. The link is in the pinned comment. Now let's get back to Flick. I will not speak about Fermín. We'll see if he stays at the end of the transfer market. Everyone needs to be 100% committed to the team, no egos. Egos kill success, said the 60-year-old coach. This raises the question, did the Chelsea story already begin in preseason? Was it Fermín's behavior that cracked the harmony inside what had been a close-knit squad? Today, the resolution of Lopez's transfer saga will arrive, but even so, responsibility cannot be pinned entirely on the 22-year-old midfielder. Jules Koundé unexpectedly started on the bench in the first 2 rounds, and it is clear he is, to put it mildly, not in the best shape. In fact, very few players look close to top form. The biggest declines are visible in Raphinha, Dani Olmo, Cubarsí, Araújo, and Bolden. Hansi Flick also said this: "Last season we played as one unit. This time I saw too much selfishness. Egos kill success. If we want to fight for titles, we need to play as a team." And that is one of the root problems. It is not yet catastrophic. Barcelona still collected 7 points out of a possible 9 away at Mallorca, Levante, and Rayo, but Flick's words cannot be ignored. They need to be underlined. Barcelona does not look like a team right now. That is what Hansi Flick himself is saying, and that is what makes him so angry. Last season he was almost unrecognizable on the touchline, calm, smiling, enjoying the game even when chances were missed. Now everything feels different. The same problem appeared at Bayern in Flick's second season. The hunger was gone. After the success of the first year, the players looked satisfied, and Flick could not reignite the same fire. He still won the Bundesliga, but left the club soon after. Sad to say, but so far it is the same script. Let's hear from Flick again. No excuses, we need to control the ball more and keep it better. The sharpness wasn't there today, and that has nothing to do with the pitch. We lacked intensity. Again, that's the main problem. Some players have stopped running their moments through, while Flick's system demands complete commitment. If players start saving themselves, the team becomes too easy to break. Exactly what happened against Levante and Rayo. You also notice that almost everyone in La Liga has already figured out the highlight, right? Before the Vallecas match, the media leaked information that Hansi Flick was unhappy with the defensive performance. It is hard to disagree though. Iñigo Martínez is already running the offside trap in Al Nassr, and Barcelona still hasn't replaced that presence. In the end, the rumors proved accurate. The entire backline was rebuilt. Koundé returned to the starting 11, Eric and Christensen playing in the center, and Balde on the left. But it didn't work. Even though Barca caught Rayo offside 7 times, some defensive collapses could have caused the team way too much. And the way the defense was broken looked almost too simple. The best example came in the 73rd minute when Rayo broke through Barca's defense with just 2 diagonal passes. And that brings up a key thought. Right now is the turning point. The transfer window is closing. All the drama will end. The season starts with a clean slate. Hard work, no excuses, only sacrifice for the team. That's the positive scenario. But there is also a negative one. A dressing room crisis could erupt. Flick has already criticized players in public more than once this season, after Mallorca and especially after Rayo Vallecano, where he admitted the team didn't deserve to win. Do you recall anything like this last season? Even during the bad November, the team still fought, created tons of chances, and played together. This time the picture looks more worrying. Spanish media reported that Flick's rant after the Rayo game was one of the loudest of his time at Barcelona. Maybe for the younger players it will serve as a wake-up call, but for players with big egos, this kind of approach usually has the opposite effect. At Real Madrid in recent years, for example, it would have only pushed the squad further away from the coach. How this will play out at Barcelona is hard to predict, but right now it does not feel stable. We'll see after the international break what effect it has. So far the picture is simple. Apart from the reinforcement of Joan García, the team looks weaker than last season, and all of this is happening while Xabi Alonso's Real Madrid has already taken 9 points out of 9. The defense has degraded after Iñigo's departure because the Basque was the leader of Flick's system, commanding the entire team and charging it to fight. Now without him, the high line looks shaky and unstable. The system itself was loved last season because it blew matches wide open. We all love remontadas, but now with each passing game it starts to feel more like roulette. Something has to change, maybe even the system itself. Right now, Barcelona often plays as if there is no defense. Opponents break through too easily. Players cannot keep up. The lack of intensity across the squad is the key. Without a fighting spirit, there will be major problems, both in La Liga, where everyone already knows how to exploit the high line, and in the Champions League, where PSG, Newcastle, and Chelsea are waiting. Koundé is clearly out of form, and that explains Flick's decision to rely on Eric in the first matches. By the way, the midfield and attack got the most criticism after the Rayo match. Joan García, Eric, and Christensen were good. The problem was in midfield and attack. We made so many mistakes. That match finished 1-1 only by miracle. But the most important words came in his earlier quote about egos. Flick's constant emphasis and commitment shows what he values above everything. And it's team unity. Keeping egos in check is essential for consistent performance, and that sets the tone for how the players must approach the rest of the season. Nevertheless, despite all the criticism, the team should have ended this game in the first half. Olmo's huge miss at the end of the opening 45 minutes and Raphinha's poor decisions made the difference. First he shot instead of passing to Ferran, then moments later he chose to pass instead of finishing one-on-one with the goalkeeper. Hansi Flick seems to have appointed Lamine Yamal as the team's new penalty taker. Lamine has great leadership qualities, and this will only give him more courage and confidence on the pitch. Do you agree with this decision though? And to wrap it up, maybe what is happening now is not only about Flick's work. It looks more like the German coach inherited a weaker squad, one without Iñigo Martínez and without the hunger that drove last season. Barcelona now plays like a team still carrying those old trophies onto the pitch, trophies that should have been left behind long ago. Reinforcements and fresh blood in defense would definitely help, but that is almost impossible right now with financial fair play restrictions. A crisis like this could only be dreamed of by Manchester United, but all the signs that the team is heading the wrong way are already very, very clear. Hansi Flick is furious, and he is calling on the players to wake up. Championships are built in the first half of the season, and that is exactly where the team is losing ground. What do you think? What were the biggest problems the Rayo match exposed? Share your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, hit like and subscribe to CULES for more. If you want even more Barca news, subscribe to our news channel. I leave the link here. Thank you for watching. Bye!